Right.
All right, so please introduce us to yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Milaune Baker. I am founder and CEO of Milaune Baker Enterprises, and it's so many things up under that umbrella that I do. But Milaune Baker,
So one of the things under that umbrella is, and I'm gonna say this incorrectly, so please forgive me,
it's okay.
is the ChiChi boutique
Yeah, the ChiChi Boudoir.
boudoir. But I
Yeah,
said ChiChi
yeah,
right.
the Chi right? Yeah,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
just basically the fancy salon. That's it. So
So
people
what do you
people
offer in
see
that so sorry.
people see that name and they think like, oh my goodness, it means something. So, nope, just fancy salon. That's it.
What do you offer in that salon that makes it stand out from other salons?
When I was in the process of looking for a salon, I wanted a space that was very safe, like a safe haven for women. The main salons, you walk in, it's a big area. You may have like 10 people in there waiting. I didn't want that. I wanted to be a space where women can just go and have their private. Because sometimes when I go to the salon, my hair is jacked up, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't want everyone around to see, what I have going on. So I was looking for private space. So we have several different rooms. We have a room where women they get their facials, their Brazilian waxes. We have rooms where there's a barber, they're cutting hair separate from the cosmetologist, the braiders like myself. We have a makeup, nails, and it's just a safe haven, a one-stop shop. But you definitely can go here, and the vibe is where it needs to be every time. You can just go and just chill and just get your woman maintenance on, and men too.
That's so cool. Okay, cool. So, what are some hair care tips that we can do right now from our home?
I am big on scalp treatment. As we all know, if you have a healthy foundation, whatever it is, if it's your body, whatever, a healthy foundation breeds just healthiness. So if you have a healthy scalp, your hair follicles will follow suit. So my main thing is just making sure that your scalp is clean and greased and things like that. I myself, I make a very natural shampoo and conditioner, and it's mainly for the scalp. It's people that have bad dandruff that needs their pores to breathe, because that's the main problem that I run into now that I've started doing hair. I run into that with a lot of African American women. Our scalp is not breathing properly. I think because we just go to the Dollar General and different stores and just buy these products, and we're not really sure the ingredients, and the ingredients are not made for us. It's made for whomever, but just not really our scalp type. So that's what made me want to come up with the scalp process. It's just as African American women, we just need to know like our roots, how to just maintain for us, and just not what they give us in the store. So
So, do you want to plug that website mainly for selfish
yep,
reasons?
it's on my Facebook, right? The ChiChi Boudoir, the cheat, and I give all that at the end. But yes, it's definitely on my Facebook, Milaune T Baker, and that's
Awesome,
out there.
awesome. I'm definitely going to, because my scalp is so dry.
I cannot believe the amount of women. Like, if I let's just throw this number out there. If I did 50 women the hair, 40 of them have plug pores and a dry scalp, and that's a high percentage of women. So we definitely need to make, because we wonder why our hair is breaking off sometime, or why our hair won't grow. It's the scalp. It's not being able to breathe, and sometimes hairstyles are not even compatible with our scalp. We also need to know that. And I'm very upfront. It's not about the money. It's about taking care of maintenance of yourself. So if someone come in and they want braids and their scalp is not ready, hey, this may not be the hairstyle you want. Let's get your scalp prepared and compatible, because you're only going to cause more damage if you basically get the wrong hairstyle. So, yep, that's my
What
thing.
state are you located in?
Florida. Yep. Gainesville and Lake City, Florida.
You gotta make me take a trip.
Come on, girl.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so last August you posted on your page that you were experiencing a depression
Yes.
if you feel comfortable,
Oh,
what
sure.
happened and how did you recover from it?
I am definitely, I feel comfortable because I'm delivered from that. I wanted to make sure I go back to that. You asked me, was I okay also with expressing it? And I am. I really feel like once you're truly delivered from a situation, you can talk about it, enjoy, knowing that you have overcame a situation. So yeah, it was last August. I I just lost myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I lost myself in a superficial world because I was a very superficial person and I didn't realize it. And when everything started coming to a head or coming to an end, you just realize like this is not it. Life has to be deeper. There has to be more, especially when you have kids. It has to be more, and you kind of get this sensation of just feeling a void and nothing that you're connected to or into at that time or that space can fill that void. Can't even come close to filling that void. And that's what brought me in, that's what took me into a deep depression because all along I didn't even realize it was me. I thought it was the job that I was working. I thought it was the people that was around me, my surroundings, and the whole time it was me. Like I needed to be fixed. And that's what took me into that depression.
What did you do to recover?
I didn't do anything at first. When I didn't even realize I was depressed. I knew a lot of things about my life had changed at that point. I wasn't, I'm usually a very outgoing, outspoken person. I would sit in the room and cry for weeks at a time. I would just be so agitated, and I found ways to tell people that this is why I can't come to the events and different things. So I conformed to the depression, and I still didn't realize I was in it. It wasn't, and I lost my faith in God too. Like I was like, you know, how could you let me get to this point, this and that, and so I wallowed in that for like 2 months. And it wasn't until I had a friend, my best friend, gave me some words of wisdom, but it was also tough love, and she was basically like, um, "It's time for you to snap up out of it." And I just started praying that night, and it just led me to therapy. And therapy is definitely, if it wasn't for my faith in God and therapy, that's how I got out of it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what childhood game did you play, and how have you still used that in your career now?
Oh my gosh, childhood game.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I'm such a country girl, and I'm talking about like backwoods country. We eat animals like raccoon. I'm embarrassed to say. I'm very, very country. We played a lot outside. These kids don't know anything about playing outside these days. They want to be stuck into the game, TikTok and games and social media. But I'm from the era where we really just got on these bicycles and we learn new tricks and swung from a tire from a tree and different things like that. And I don't say those games per se taught me anything in my career, but I can say that those games we put in a lot of effort to be better. Like every day we try to learn a new trick on the bicycle, or every day we try to learn how to climb that tree, or just better ourselves. Not even knowing it, we were training our minds then to be a better version of ourselves, and that's what I do now in my career. Try to be a better version of myself than I was yesterday.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I remember I completely forgot swinging on a tire
Oh
was a
my
thing.
gosh, that was my thing, girl. I used to hang on a tire and just do all kind of tricks.
But see, I would
Yeah.
never think that about you because you're so dainty and so feminine.
No, not really. Now, kind of
Oh,
not. Well, I'm always a country girl at heart. No matter where I move. I mean, I used to hate it growing up because I thought it was so boring, and I just wanted to go see the rest of the world. That's when I was like in middle school, when I was getting out of the kid games and all that. But now when I go back, I'm like, I love it. That's my peace. That's my solace. That's my comfort, because it's nothing like the country. Just raising my kids there and just the air. I just love everything about it. The green grass. It's comfort to me. Actually, in therapy, we had to learn different things that would calm us down. Like for me, and I used to be very impulsive. So instead of going to from 0 to 1,000, she taught us how to train our brain to go from 0 to like 5 or 1. And one of the trainings was picture something that calms you down, whatever it is. You can, if it's your favorite color, if it's if it's a person, however. So in the midst of things, that's what calmed me down. I always picture the country with my granny and the way it smells and different things like that, and it instantly is like a calming sensation for me.
I just when you just said that, like I just like got a little nostalgic as well.
Right. That's what it
Being in
is.
grandmother's house,
That's
smelling the heater and like breakfast in
Yes,
the morning.
yes, that's exactly
Yeah.
what it is. I'm looking at the fig trees she used to pick. She's dead, God bless her soul. But different things like that definitely just that's one of my coping mechanisms now.
I love that. I love that. Okay. Do you think competition is healthy for business owners, for emerging business owners?
So that's a good question. So I don't see um learning new skills that other people have or just connecting with people as competition, right? I feel like our new generation needs to learn what we know in order to better what we know in order to have their own thing. So I don't see it as competition. Iron sharpens iron. I don't hold anything back from my ladies. I do hair, I teach classes, and I was telling a fellow friend that she was like, "Why would you teach classes? That's competition. You're putting more people in the game, and it's not about that. I want to see everyone eat. I want to see everyone critique their technique and be happy, because that's the end result of all this, us being happy, us finding joy. And if I can do that for another person, that'll be awesome. You don't see Burger King and McDonald's competing and this and that. What's meant for you is meant for you. I truly believe you have a client, you have a business, you have something for everyone. I can't look at this person grass and want my grass to be just as green as this person grass. You keep your grass might just need to be a little brown and greenish and grayish, but guess what? You still thrive in your own lane. So it shouldn't be any competition. I even hate that word. I hate that it's a thing, because we all can eat. It's enough money in this world. It's enough shine in this world that we can all shine and eat. So no, I don't think competition is necessary. Now, however, what I do believe though, I believe in an oversaturated market. Now, that's two different things. Sometimes we can do too much of something in one place, and then that means someone's going to get left out. So, for example, if I have three people that's selling hair, right, and you have two people in the room. So, if those three people walk in, so the person that's the most popular is going to get a sale, and the
Yeah.
person that's the cheapest is going to get a sale. Someone's going to be left out. So someone's going to sit on inventory. So I never want anyone to sit on inventory. So I would definitely say find your niche, find what's for you to do, and make sure that the market is not oversaturated, because I see that happen a lot, because people say we can all do the same thing. You can, but you just have to make sure that there's even a niche for that in the market. So then you won't be sitting on inventory.
I never even considered that. That's a
Yeah,
very good
most
observation.
definitely.
Um, so this is a topic that you brought up earlier, and I definitely would love your thoughts and opinions on it. Do you I don't even know how to say this out loud, because I just hate the phrase that Black women are not protected. Yeah, yeah, okay. So
Right?
so 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 you see what I'm saying?
I hate that it's even a thing.
Okay, so elaborate on that for me real
Why
quick.
I don't even understand why isn't it a thing? Why isn't it just nature that we are protected. You get me? Like, why is it like
Mm.
even an issue? And I am baffled because it's becoming more of a issue with the community, with our society, with people. And it's like we are supposed to be just these independent, black, strong creatures that take blows and bounce right back. We're not supposed to have mental breakdowns. We're supposed to just be these women of just like super women.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're not, we're chastised for being human, and that's just something I don't understand. And we just get the backlash from all over. Not only men, our own sisters do it. We all go through the same thing, but for some reason, even sisters do it to another one. If someone's struggling or their lights got cut off or something, you see people lashing out and doing different things when we all should be in this thing together, but we are just not protected. Like it's sad, from our hair to the way we dress to how we present ourselves in society. We are often just lashed at, and I don't understand. Even when dating our men, it seems like these days our men doesn't even feel the right to protect and to make us feel safe anymore. It's like the roles are changing, and I just don't know. Do you feel like as a black woman that you have the same power and rights, and that you can be vulnerable and that you can just live without being chastised? Do you feel like that?
If you asked me that 10 years ago, I would have said yes. But present tense, I don't feel that way.
And I don't feel that way either. I feel like I have to disguise sometimes what I really want to do, or disguise how I feel sometimes, just to fit the agenda of what a black woman's supposed to be and supposed to look like. And it's kind of like draining, because sometimes I just want to scream out. And I think that's something that brought me to the depression and therapy too, because sometimes I just want to scream out, I am not okay. But if I scream out, I'm not okay, who's going to take my vulnerability and run with it? Or who's going to not protect me in that moment if I say that? So it's tough. And I'm raising girls, so and I'm raising that strong and these independent. It's crazy. It's tough. I'm raising my girls to be very strong and be very independent, but I also want them to have a vulnerable side that they can visit too. But society these days just don't make it. They don't make it easy for us to be that way. And I think that's why a lot of black women go through what they go through, depression and the craziness and all that. We need
Do
more
you, do
safe
you think
havens.
that the media, in combination with social media, pun non intended, is not helping with the narrative of Black women?
It's
Or do you think it's
not.
helping with it?
It's not because it's a total contradiction of what we should be striving for. And and when I say that, I have to limit my kids on TikTok. I have to limit them on social media, because if I was to let that influence their mind, they would want to be strippers. They would want to be the what I want my influence to be a little bit. I want my influence to be stronger than what they see on social media. Whoever wants to do that and whoever wants to live their life like that, I'm not saying it's bad. That's what you guys want to do, But for my girls, I can't let social media or entertainment influence the way they think, because it's very superficial to me. It's a lot about leading with your body to get a certain reaction, and not leading with your mind, or being very manipulative, or being very deceitful, and being a woman of the world with, I'm just gonna say it, with no morals and no values. And it's kind of like that's taking over. And if that's taking over, who's gonna be our Michelle Obamas, and who's gonna be our Oprahs, and women like that, if we're not teaching certain ethics and morals? So yeah, I think social media definitely plays a big part of it, because it's kind of like we just put ourselves out there to be pounced on in a way, basically. Like, it's kind of can't
So
take you
since you bring
serious.
that up, what do you think about slut shaming?
Go into slut shaming. What slut shaming?
Um, Saying that we shouldn't judge women who have a more promiscuous lifestyle.
So, you know,
Yes, sorry.
no, it's cool because,
We're gonna talk about hair in a second, I promise.
no, 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 it's cool. It's cool. So for me, because it all goes into women empowerment, and I guess it fits that person agenda. And yeah, I guess it's like a double standard because I will sit here and tell you that slut shaming is bad, but I'll sit here and tell you that it's bad to be a slut. That's just from my, from my point and my intentions. I mean, from my point of view. So, um, women can be so cruel. I feel like maybe if we approach it a different way, let's not slut shame. Let's reword our words and maybe make it more positive vibe. Because it's kind of when you're condemning or when we're condemning and when we're judging, people don't take it the right way. And you may be coming from a good place. But I think if we maybe have a more positive spin on it where it's not so much condemning because I can't judge and I can't condemn. I mean, I had my time where I ran the streets and I wasn't doing the best thing. I used to dance. I used to be a stripper. I used to, I had my time. I've been there, did that. So I cannot dare judge anyone at this point that's doing that. I just want people to be better versions of themselves. But you know what? But I do realize though that some people just want to do that.
Yeah.
Some people just that's their lifestyle and they want to do that. But for me and the agenda that I push now at this point in present time, I would want people to be the better versions of themselves possible.
Hmm. Okay. So, where does one start when finding real estate to start their business?
I'm not in real estate. Okay,
Or like to
well, for
finding a
commercial buildings,
building
commercial
for their
buildings.
business. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. That's a good question. For me, I don't do anything without praying on it now. That's my thing. I think the universe kind of just lines up with your agenda. This is how I think. You put it out there in the air and and it happens. This is how I think. So for me, when I was finding my building, I prayed on a lot of buildings, but this just one building in particular stood out to me. The square footage stood out to me. The rent stood out to me. And so but you have to figure out how much are you going to make, because if the building rent is $800 and you're bringing in 600 a month, of course that's not going to work out. So you just got to most definitely write a business plan. That's the main thing, and put in your income, your gross, different things. My first time doing a business in 2012, I didn't know any of this. uh, it sucked. I thought I knew what I was doing. It lasted for like 3 or 4 months. So, and I've always wanted a storefront. So now that I'm revisiting, I'm doing everything different. So I came in here with a game plan. You have to have a game plan. You cannot just do this thing, just fly by. Not when you're talking about buildings and, expenses and different things like that. So just, I would say, look for the amount of the rent, the square footage, like how many people can you fit in this building, or what are you trying to do, how much money you're going to make, and just make sense for the most part.
Make it make sense. I
Make it
like
make
that. That's
sense.
very
Yes.
practical advice. I like that.
Yes.
What is grow?
Grow is my foundation. It's getting rid of waste. And it's basically just getting rid of the negativity. I am very passionate about grow. I also have grow for young ladies, and that's young women that's going through the same thing, maybe not in healthy households, or just trying to be more positive people. And that's what grow is. I have events and conferences with women, and that's a safe haven. That's my thing. I'm all about like having safe havens where we can just be vulnerable with one another, cry. I tell you my story. Broke up with this guy. He cheated on me, and it's not tea for you to go laugh at it and put it on Facebook, but you like, sis, I went through the same thing. Or I tell you that I was depressed last year in August and I wanted to kill myself, and you don't go tell the next person, oh, you know, she crazy. She wanna no, you like, sis, I had suicidal thoughts before too, you know? And it's just like a place where we let this stuff out and we just purge basically. And when we purge, we put new things back in. And that's what I would say I call that a factory reset. We purge our body of all the negativity that we can, and just whatever we take out. I'm a firm believer that whatever you take out, you have to put something in it, because if you don't replace it, you're leaving that space open for other things to come in, and even worse. So if you take out hate, I will replace it with actions of love to keep it going, to keep building in a more positive way. So that's growth.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Career or love first?
If you would have asked me this a year ago, I would have said love, because I felt like I needed love to thrive as a woman. I felt like I needed to coexist with a man to quote unquote fit what's normal. But now I am. Milton, can you close the door? It's kind of loud. I'm on live. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you're fine.
You're loud. Um, so now it's most definitely my career, my kids first. I am firm believer that I have to, for me, I have to exist fully as Milaune, unapologetically me, loving me, understanding me, just knowing every parts of my body, my triggers and everything before I can coexist with a man, because I am not healed in all areas. And if I bring this baggage to my next relationship, it's not fair for him to have to fix something that I need to be working on myself. And we do that a lot as women. Sometimes we bring over the hurt from a last relationship, or we bring over traumatic experiences from childhood. And here it is, you're broken and you want this guy to be your saving grace, and he don't even know where to start, because he don't know you was abused as a child. He don't know you have mommy or daddy issues. He doesn't know that this guy broke your heart and you're still healing from it, but you want to be healed from your partner. So it becomes like so much friction, and it could have been love, but it's turned into like healing sessions. And it's never going to be good enough for someone to fix you if you can't fix yourself. Like, you have to fix yourself first. So someone else trying to fix you would never be good enough, because you don't know what the problem is. It's you. So it's most definitely for me, career first. I am like thriving in my career right now. I don't have any time for distractions, any room for distractions. I am head first in building my empire. So when I do bring on, or I do bring, my a guy, he can add on to what I already have, instead of, I don't want to do the whole building thing up together. That's not where I am mentally.
Mm,
So, and it takes a
say
lot
that
though.
again.
This takes some sacrifices, because I get lonely sometimes. I'll practice celibacy, but I do get lonely, and I fight those urges. It's it takes a lot of sacrifices, and I am not perfect, because I fall short. Some nights I just want to be held. But then sometimes I just don't want those emotional ties. So it's a lot with it. It's a lot with it. I think you just gotta, for the most part, have your mind set on what you want. And that's not saying that your walk is going to be perfect, but I feel like if you live intentionally for what you want, it's easier to reach that goal than to be all over the place.
Mm,
So
that makes
yeah.
sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep.
Um, so a large amount of businesses are predicted to go out of business by February 2021. I always want to say 2022. I don't know why I want to skip next year. But what pieces, words, etc. of advice would you give to these businesses who are like on the edge of going out of business?
Shoot, this is a conversation I was just having the other day with some people. Death of vision. And anything you do, you have to know nothing is not promised. Like, tomorrow's not promised. For me, I have 7 girls up under me, and guess what? three of those girls might fall sick, and I have to have something in place for them. And you always have to have depth of vision. You have to be on to the next thing, the next project. Your mind has to go past what's going on right now and basically just prepare yourself for the future. So that's the main thing. Get yourself financially prepared and mentally prepared for the mishaps, because I don't know what's going to happen even and I'm thinking that there may be a shutdown in the next month or so due to corona. And as a business owner, that's gonna affect me because they say we're not essential, which I feel like we're essential. We need our hair done, right? We need to feel
Yeah,
good about ourselves. We get depressed if we're not. So most definitely we are essential. But anyway, since they say we're not, I'm gonna shut down. I have to shut down. So we have to just have things in place that we can fall back on, and we just always have to know that nothing's ever truly concrete because life happens. My dad, he's been an entrepreneur businessman over 30 years, and he told me to adapt, and that's the best business advice he could ever gave me too, just adapting to how things work. But in the formula of an entrepreneur, it changes, but the drive is still the same. Like if you're an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur. Whether I'm doing hair, whether I'm trying to sell clothes, or however, that hustle and that drive has to be there. So I just say, just keep pushing, never give up, keep pushing.
Okay, so where can we like you, follow you, stalk you, all that fun stuff?
Um, Facebook and Instagram for right now. I am Milaune T Baker on Facebook, Milaune T Baker, and Instagram the same thing. My shop. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. That was so random. Maybe not. Okay. But my sinuses, I don't have corona, y'all. It's my sinuses is acting up with this weather change.
No, yeah, it's been crazy. My sinuses have been insane. And
Yes,
then like
it's
if you cough in public, you're like, I'm fine. It's
right.
just
And everybody looks like, ooh, yeah,
yeah.
that's the embarrassment these days. But and also the ChiChi Boudoir. The ChiChi Boudoir, that is my business page, and there you can find all the services that my girls offer inside of the salon. So either from my page, you can migrate there, or just tap it in.
All right, awesome, awesome. And then last question before I let you go. What are 3 words that you would say to your younger self to help her become the person who you are now?
Um, um,
Mhm.
eh, I don't. Can I just make it a few more words than three?
Yeah, yeah. A few more words is fine. A
Okay.
few more words is fine.
Fall in love with yourself.
Wow.
Yeah,
Can you say
that's
that one more
the
time? Because I feel like I talked over you.
fall in love with yourself. That's what I would have told my younger self, because once you fall in love with yourself, everything adds up and in line with that. And that comes from the people that you let in your circle, that comes from the job that you do, that comes with protecting your peace. Because when you love yourself wholeheartedly, it's just a lot of stuff you won't accept. It's you see the world different because you see yourself as a prize, you see yourself as a queen. You won't fall short in certain areas. Just fall in love with yourself. It's a lot of situations that I would never end up in had I had self-love. So that's the main, fall in love with yourself. That's it.
This has been such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. I thank you so much
And thank
for your
you.
patience. Say it again.
Thank you for reaching out. Thank you definitely for reaching
Thank you
out.
for saying yes.
Of
Because I know
course.
that you're a busy woman. I definitely appreciate your patience and your time. And I'll definitely be reaching out to you later, okay?
This echo thing just started happening.
Oh, perfect
Perfect
timing.
timing, because I'm hearing everything that we've been talking about. But anyway, I'm going to go now.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you. And you be blessed, honey.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.